This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Hope you can see my screen now. Right? Okay. So let me put it in this. Okay. So yesterday we were looking at various scenarios for running the unit test cases, right? Using that Visual Studio test task. Okay. So we seen how to run impacted test cases only, unit test cases only. You call it as unit test cases, right? Whatever is the developer is writing using
Yeah.
code basically. Okay. To reduce the time required to build the project basically, because in general you have a thousand, I mean hundreds of unit test cases, so it will always be a, I mean, good item to run only impacted unit test case during daytime, but in during night time you can do whatever you want basically. Okay. That is one thing. The other thing is you can run the test cases in parallel as well. Okay, there only have another option to set run unit test cases in parallel. Okay, that also will be taken care by your framework. You don't need to do anything. The another thing that this is very advanced fun for developers basically. You will also have an option, or not you basically, the developers, to mention all the settings for a unit test cases in a file called runs.run settings file basically. Okay, here if you see, I mean, they will keep all the settings, like how many CPUs should be used, okay, where the test results should be stored. But if you see, test results direct, everything is already in our in our configuration in the micro Visual Studio test task basically. Okay, but these guys will mention here, should I run it on x86 or x64? Okay, what is the .NET framework that it should use? Okay, and where they are keeping some adapters. Okay, it's all very advanced. How many seconds it should wait for the testing to be completed. Okay, like that. There are many n number of things, but at least in my uh, experience I do not see anyone using this one. But most of some product companies, or some enthusiast developers use this basically. Okay, you see they're talking about code coverage, everything here basically. Okay, but all these things can be done from the UI itself, because it's complicated, right? You see how many lines of XML is here, right? Okay, it's not easy to remember for anyone, right? That is the reason we are using uh, products, and we are spending hell lot of money for the products as well. Okay, so if a developer is giving these kind of dot run settings files, right, you just need to select it in our MS unit testing tools only. That's it. You just need to ask, hey, for your unit test cases, are you using any dot run settings file? If they say yes, then ask them the path actually. Okay, if they
So
give you the path.
this dot run settings file is for that for the unit test cases, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a settings basically, where to keep the
Okay.
results. Okay, what framework to be used. Okay, they might be using some URLs in their unit testing. They keep the URLs as well in this here. It's just like another configuration file for the unit test cases alone.
Okay.
For the unit test cases alone, just like a configuration file. How you have your for your web application or a Windows application. Similarly, they will have it here basically. Okay, but at least, I mean, I worked on hundreds of projects. I never used it because I have another simple way to do it, right? Okay, but still you need to know as a DevOps engineer, you don't care, right, where they want to keep their settings. If they keep their settings there, I mean, your life even become easy basically. But again, people run into issues because all this coding or configuration needs expertise to write such kind of things.
Yeah, okay.
So if I edit this, so from now onwards, what I do, I'll be using this kind of snippets, etc. Right? I will share it in a Google Drive basically for your reference. Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. So let me enable this. Okay. Here. see, these are all the things, right? Where to keep the, where the test files are there, where to find out this. Okay, these are all system variables. Run on impacted test cases. Here you mentioned, right? So what does it mean? I think you might have read it. When this build pipeline, right? It for the if you mention five, for five runs, for five times of running this pipeline, it will only execute the impacted unit test cases. From sixth time onwards, it will run the complete unit test cases. That's what it means. Number of builds after which all tests should be run. So all these are
Oh,
very handy. Okay,
okay. Okay.
all these are very handy for you. Okay, and this is where I am saying, hey, settings file, if they have any settings file, you can basically go and select it. Click here. They have to put in their repository only, not anywhere else. Okay, probably they will keep inside their unit test cases project. You just need to select it. Okay.
Mm. That is
Okay.
mandatory that they need to keep, right?
No, no, that's what I'm saying, right? In my experience, I didn't even
Okay.
see 5% of the people using this actually. Okay, because it's
Okay.
complicated. Whatever the settings you are seeing, you all are
Okay.
here already.
Already.
Okay,
Okay.
and you have more here basically, because see, a tool knows better than any person, right? We are
Yeah.
learning the tools, right? So, and again, you cannot learn each and everything in a programming language or in any tool, right? That's not possible at all. First of all, you cannot learn in your lifetime basically. Okay,
Mm.
if you are starting learning each and everything in a tool or programming language, you never get a chance to work actually, because this is
Okay.
a ocean, right? So based on the scenario, I mean based on the requirement, we go and learn and work on it, isn't it? Okay, let us
Mm.
say I worked on I mean as a developer I worked on .NET for more than 12 years. Okay, developer
Okay.
or architect, whatever it is, only alone on .NET. Okay, I would say I didn't even use 1% of the features, right? Because it's a
Mm. Yeah.
ocean. See, most of your life will be, let us say, you started working on a web application, right?
Mm.
Whether you are working for client one or client two or client three, you will be working on your login pages, logout pages, or submitting some orders, retrieving some data, etc., isn't it? It will not go mostly beyond that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's very difficult even to cover, what is a 10% or a 5% of your, uh, programming language or, tool. So you guys need to go and look into some of these features. You can see, rerun failed tests. Okay, that means, what happens when you run this build, right? One unit test case failed, right? Okay,
Yeah.
and then that's the reason our build failed, and then we disable this one. Or in one case, we basically commented that method itself for our build to succeed. But when you use this read and fail test, what happens? Okay,
Okay.
it will basically make an attempt. If the unit test case failed for the first attempt, right? What this build will do? It will try to run one more time. How many number you will give here? Those many times it will try to rebuild basically. I mean rerun.
Okay.
If you
But
don't specify,
I
yeah,
mean, immediately, if once it failed, immediately again it starts
it will
running.
start basically. Yeah,
Oh,
you will not know that. It will happen internally. I tell you, you will get these scenarios like this. I tell you what happens. Okay,
oh,
first let's see how I mean you see this, properties. I mean, it's better to read basically. Percentage of failure or percentage of failed. Do not return. Do not rerun if test failures exceed specified threshold. Okay, you can put that threshold as percentage or number of unit test cases. Okay, percentage of failure. So what it is saying, hey, if 30% of the unit test cases are failed in this project, then do not rerun anything. That's what it is saying.
okay.
You got it? Let us
30%.
say you have 100 unit test cases. 30 unit test cases are failed. That means it is unnecessary to rerun anything, because it your time will be increasing, or there could be some issue in your unit test case project basically, or the way they written the unit test cases. Okay, if it is less than 30, then what this guy is saying, hey, rerun all those unit test cases and attempt it for 3 times. That's what it is saying. Okay, why you need to have this kind of feature, I tell you. See, when you are writing unit test cases or running unit test cases or writing code, you might be calling some databases, right, to store or retrieve the data, or you might be calling some apis given by other companies as well. Okay, let us say, if you are working on some marketing application, you might be retrieving some data from Facebook, right, or you might be pushing some ads to the Facebook. Similarly, you might be retrieving some data from LinkedIn or pushing it to LinkedIn. Or similarly, you are using some Azure services for email functionality, or for workflows, etc, etc. It can be anything. So when you are using some apis or when you are working with databases, there is always a possibility for some network failures, right? Or internet might have been down, or there might be some port issues between your build server and the net and the actual database servers, etc, or the web servers and between the database server. It can be any network issue. So you don't know, right? For that reason, and if people know that they will get such kind of errors, you can go ahead with this kind of option. You don't need to rerun the build again. You just select this option, it will go and try to run that unit test cases for 3 times, and then it will exit basically. So in a programming language term, I mean, perspective, right, we call it as this is a design pattern basically. We call it as a circuit breaker and a retry pattern. I'm not sure, I don't think you might have heard it.
No,
We call it
no.
as this is a pattern basically, circuit breaker, retry. These are two patterns. Okay, circuit breaker means how many times I should attempt. Okay, retry
Okay.
means I have a logic to retry. Okay, so these are very popular patterns. Any high, I mean, let us say you go with IRCTC application or any mission critical applications, right? We always need to have such kind of design. So similarly, we are having the design pattern here.
Okay.
Understood how it is important? This read and fail tests.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The later thing, I mean, these are all self-explanatory, but I mean, this is all about, uh, running your unit test cases in isolation, etc. But it will not be shown to you, basically. I mean, your developers are not interested in these kind of things. Okay.
Okay.
The later ones, I mean, these are built-in configuration. You don't need to change it. Okay. And lastly, control options and output variables. Okay, whatever I'm highlighting, right, those are the important things that we should do and we should suggest to the people. Hey, do this. Okay.
Okay. These are all options. Normally in an organization already they might be working continuously, right? So they
I tell
have
you,
of
I tell you,
rules.
they don't know. I tell you, 90% of the people don't know the options.
Okay.
I'll give you the guarantee. 90% of the people don't know these options. All they do is go and add a task, run it,
Okay.
build failed, again run it, like that. Okay,
Okay.
for simple application, these things will work. But if you are working for a bigger application like complex applications, these things
Okay.
will not work basically, because it is a time consuming activity, right?
Yeah.
See, you as a DevOps engineer or as a developer might also work on multiple projects. A DevOps engineer definitely work on multiple projects. Who will give
Yeah.
a attention to all these things, because you started this and you started working for another project. You don't know,
Okay.
right, how much time it will take. You have to keep an eye here, right?
Yeah.
You got me? So that's the reason these options helps a lot, both the developers and the administrators, like like a DevOps engineers. Okay,
Okay.
that's about test assemblies basically. So you learn a lot of scenarios. Whenever you are learning something, think about the scenarios, not just a configuration. Okay, so now let's move on. So what you learn is your triggers. Okay, how do you use a single branch for, I mean, single pipeline for multiple branches, and then you learn this continuous integration. You made some change in your code, it automatically triggered it, and this pipeline will work for all these branches. You can go and add anything else as well, and you can schedule it as well. You've seen it. Okay, I deleted it
Okay.
because it will cost me, right? That's why I deleted it. Okay,
Yeah.
and then it's in all these options as well. How do you format your how this metadata should look like, your build pipeline name, etc. And then you also created a bug if the build is failed. Okay, you did not create any variables so far. These are system variables, but you can build your own, you can write your own variable as well. That I'll show it for the CD pipeline. Basically, I am just looking for a scenario. Okay,
Okay.
and then you have the tasks. In the tasks also, you haven't added your any additional tasks. These are the tasks that came along with my template, right? So we'll be adding some additional tasks as well to move further. Okay, and before I move to the next topic, that is a Sonarqube. Okay, I just recollected, and while we are working on the repos, right?
Yeah.
You remember we applied the branch policies, right?
Yeah.
We applied the branch policies to protect the branch. Basically means if I protect main branch, that means nobody can do changes to the main branch directly. They have to go by some uh, they have to go through some child branch basically via pull request.
Okay.
So we tried multiple times as well. So in branch policies, if I go to main branch, I removed it, right? So this is main. Actually, let's go to master.
Master. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Master
is
we have.
master. Yeah. So these guys introduced it recently. This main, earlier you do not basically see this main. But anyways, we don't use it because master is the standard. Okay.
Okay.
So all these policies are enabled, right? I told you,
Yeah.
hey, we will look into this build validation when we go to the CI pipeline basically. Okay, what it is. So this is all about code review, right? Who should review? How many people should review? Or who should approve? Okay, uh, people should add a link work items to the pull request so that we will have the traceability. Means people know what code belong to what requirement, etc. And then comment should be resolved. No comment should be in the open position, right? And then this is another thing. Think about the scenario. This is a build validation. Think about the scenario. You are a developer and you created a pull request. I'm a reviewer, I'm reviewing it. See, I'm a human being, right? I can only review or I can only validate your code as per the requirement. Hey, I have a login functionality. Is this code basically satisfying the login functionality? That is what I can verify it, right? But if you
Yeah.
want me to verify all the best practices or the standards of a programming language, probably I know 0.001%. I don't know each and everything, right? No,
Yeah.
nobody knows. Even whoever created this framework also don't know, right? Because this framework is built by thousands of developers over 20 years, etc. So for that reason, you need tools. So I can do the functional verification, functionality verification. Let the tool do the best practices validation in terms of the coding best practices. Further, along with the above review, I mean review. What do you call it as review policies? You also use this build validation. So what is this? Whenever you create a pull request, reviewer has to approve all these things. Along with this, your build will also be triggered. This build, right? This will also be triggered. If the build is successful, then only it will your pull request will be done basically. In case if the build is
Oh,
failed, though this guy is happy with all your work, your build is not happy. So your pull
Okay.
request will not be completed. So now what you do, you have to go and add a build here. Add a new build policy. What is a build pipeline? You have to select your build pipeline. Our build pipeline name is online reservation. If you have more, it will show more. Okay. No path filter and trigger automatic whenever the source branch is updated. That means the moment the developer did a pull request, it will get started basically. Okay. And policy requirement, build must succeed in order to complete pull request. Yes, of course, we are adding this policy, then it has to be like this. Okay. Build expiration immediately when master is updated. uh, Build after 12 hours if master has been updated. What it is saying, okay, this is a build expiration when it has to be deleted or something. Okay, once the pull request is completed, wait for 12 hours and then you can delete the history, etc. Okay, you can keep like this. Okay? Or you select this one immediately when master is updated. Okay, and say save. Why it is not displaying? Oh, sorry. Here, this is here. I added this one. Okay, now
Build
if I go,
expiration means
it will expire.
uh,
Now you will see it basically.
no.
Expires when code change. You will see it
Immediately
just
when
now.
master is updated.
Exactly. You will see it now. So let's go, and hopefully I do not get any conflicts because our purpose is not now to resolve the conflicts. Okay. All you see now, since you have the build validation. Okay. Uh, I don't need to do this. My details are my remote repository is up to date, right? Okay, if I go to Repos branches, now stay. Let me save this. Hmm, Repos branches, and then let me create a pull request. Okay, so merge dev into master. Okay, build validation. Check dev test it. I'll I'll do add something. Otherwise, it will not work. And say create. Now you see, you might have received that, right, email. Okay, build is queued here. Automatically build is queued, you see.
Okay.
So while the reviewer, I mean, trying to do the code review from here, it is also happening. Okay,
Okay.
once it happened, if the build is failed, right, so all these things have to are under conditions, right? All these three checks have to be successful and this is also have to be successful. If one of them is failed, that means your pull request will not be completed.
Okay.
If all four are successful, that means you as a reviewer you will go and approve all the changes. That is one thing, and this build also should be successful. So then what is advantage of here? Your tool is taking care of all the coding standards, like in term it will do the code analysis, etc., and you will take care of the functional analysis.
Okay.
So so always you can suggest the developer, hey, okay, we from pull request we are doing this code analysis by the reviewer, but it is also important to enable this, I mean, run the build each time in a pull request is triggered basically. That way
Okay.
you are ensuring that functional review and technical review as well with respect to best practices. Okay.
I approved it.
Okay, it's now you see, right, this guy is also okay. I just need to refresh. Sometimes it will not. One optional check yet to run, not yet run. It is going on, right? Yeah. One reviewer approved it. You see this.
Yeah.
No merge conflicts. I mean, it identifies, right? Before it will do. Yeah. Dev test approved here. It is
Shall
happening.
I upload it? I need to select on complete, right?
Yeah. You need to click on complete.
Complete, yeah.
Yeah.
Complete pull request. Build in progress. That's what it's showing.
Exactly. You will not be able to do it, right? Build
No,
in
I cannot
progress.
do it.
Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't allow because this is also mandatory, right? This build has to be completed.
Okay.
So you have three policies. Four policies. Three policies should have to be done by the reviewer. The other policy should is automatic, which is the build one.
Yeah, okay.
You can go and see, right? I think it is almost done. Done. If I go to my if I go to repos, pull requests.
In that, actually, we need only the test assemblies to, that only we need to check, right?
That is for the unit test cases. Okay, now you see one thing is failed here. What is that? Coverage
Coverage.
status check failed for okay, something is failed, and that is the reason uh, your pull request will
Coverage,
not be complete.
coverage
I
means
don't
that
know.
30%.
Yeah. And no, no, that is the rerun, right? If the unit test
Yeah,
case is
okay.
failed, then go and rerun it. Now you see the pull request is not completed; it is still active. That
Okay.
means your dev code is not into master basically. Okay, let me see what is
Mhm.
that, because I don't know, right? What is that? I mean, as a DevOps engineer, I simply tell the people, hey, this is the issue. But what is that issue? We need to see. We need to go and give the logs, etc. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is successful. Build is successful. Then coverage. And why this guy is saying some issue? Let's go and see it. Here it is showing approve. Okay, you approved it basically, and
Yeah.
sorry. Coverage status check failed for what is this coverage? Here it is. No, this is optional. Okay, I don't know why this is here. This is optional. Okay, but the bill is succeeded. Here it is showing. You see, online reservation system. It is successful, and that means if I go to so master, many things should have been added now. This one microservices, right? This is what added in our dev basically. Okay, we just it has come here. Okay, how you can see? You can see the plus symbols here also, but in web you don't see plus symbol because this is our existing code in master as well. Let me complete this. Okay, if i if I select this option, your dev will be deleted. I'm not deleting it. Okay, you can simply say complete merge. Yeah, can you do that one? I can't do this. Sorry. Yeah, done. Okay, all required checks succeeded. I don't know why that is showing. Now it is gone. Build was successful. It should not be giving anything. but once I did it, it is not showing me basically.
Okay.
Maybe let me try one more time. What is that basically? Okay, I can see the video back, right? I will check it because even the build successful, why it was showing me. Okay,
Okay.
uh, but now you see, right? Why it is still going?
It is running actually.
Why it is still running? That's what I'm not able to understand.
53 seconds. Time started. It is running.
It's already completed, right?
Yeah, but again it started running. Uh,
Did I make any? See, 8 minutes ago, just now it built again. So, was there any change?
I don't know. I didn't do any change.
It published the artifacts. It is publishing the artifacts. And this is not a pull request basically. Okay, this is general. You see, oh, triggered by Purna K. This is not a pull request is completed. This again started. Okay, I mean, let me cancel this.
We need to see this settings and settings. Anything is that? Like,
Yeah, that's what I am thinking. Let me cancel this. Go here. Maybe I clicked on some rerun or something. Uh, on the top right corner, I had the rerun the build. Probably I might have clicked on it basically. That's what I am thinking.
oh, Purna. Right.
Okay. No, I think I was when I clicked on that approve on the top right corner, there was a rerun basically. Okay, build rerun. I don't know if I
Mm.
clicked it. And anyways, I cancel it. Okay, for the time being. Let's see basically. Okay, so that's one we missed in the rep. Not missed basically. We had to wait till the pipeline. That means you can add your build validation as well to the pull request. Okay, so advantage is the reviewer can review the functionality. The system will take care of the code analysis perspective. I mean, if build is failed, then your code is failed. I mean, your pull request will not happen. Okay, now moving on to the next topic, that is Sonarqube. This is a very important aspect of your continuous integration pipeline. Okay, so what is Sonarqube? Sonarqube basically do the code analysis of uh, your programming language code basically. So if it is .NET, it will go and analyze all your C# code or VB code, or you have your jQuery, or you have your JavaScript. Okay, it can be scripting, it can be your .NET code, and it supports Java, it supports C++, it supports Python. There are many languages that Sonarqube will support basically. And you don't find a single company who don't have this Sonarqube. Each and every company will definitely have the Sonarqube in their company, and they use it actually. Whether they use it, what level, it's up to them. Okay, but definitely it will be there for the code analysis. Okay, but what are the important steps when you say sonar code analysis? What is that right now? So code analysis have many things, right? One is you should have a unit test cases, sufficient unit test cases to cover the code written by you. Means each and every code line written by developer have to be verified by unit test case basically, saying that hey, whatever is code written has someone automatically verifying it. That is the one. The other one is that see, your code will have multiple issues, right? There will be security issues, there will be performance issues, there will be some best practice issues, there will be some reusability issues, there might be some cases you write code but you never use it. Okay, these are all the number of things you have. So when you have all these things in your code, right, all these issues in your code, maintenance of the code will become problematic over a period of time. Okay, so to avoid all those things, okay, SonarQube will be helping you. Means whenever you run SonarQube against your continuous integration pipeline, it will go and analyze your code for all these issues and give you the report. Okay, that is step one. Okay, and it will also tell you systematically how, let us say, it will also tell you, okay, we'll get into the details. It will also tell you how many days or hours it will take to fix those issues as well. Let us say you got some three security issues identified by SonarQube, okay, in the code, and it will tell you as well, hey, to fix these three security issues at code level, it will take 4 hours, 4 hours basically. That's how it will tell you as well. So now I'm giving you the another term called technical debt. Technical debt. Okay, if somebody asks you, hey, how do you identify technical debt, and how do you mitigate the technical debt? Mitigate means how do you address that technical debt? Technical debt is nothing but the list of all the issues and the time required to fix all those issues is nothing but a technical debt. And how you address that, how you identify it, you will identify it using SonarQube. When you configure SonarQube as part of your CI build, it will go and analyze, it will give you all the best practices related issues or the maintenance issues, security issues, etc., and give you the time as well, how much time it will take to fix it. Okay, also on top of that, you can configure quality gate as well. Code quality gate, I shown in our previous slides. What is a code quality gate? Now when you build it, there is no issue in the build, it is successful, and there is and the developer written all the code which satisfy the functionality to be developed. Okay, it is expected basically, it is as expected. But there but you still have chances to fail the build. What are those non-functional requirements? Means let us say your code is not up to the mark, you have written many duplicate lines, you are not doing the reusability. Means let us say you need to verify a password. Okay, you written some 10 lines of code for verifying a password. That means you read it and verifying with the against the database. So, but what you did, you had done that 10 lines of code in login page, and you have done it in many other places as well for verifying the password. That means the same 10 lines of code is available in 10 other different code files. That means you are not doing the reusability. So this SonarQube will tell you, hey, why are you writing the same code in multiple places? Why don't you create one method and reuse it in all the places, so that uh, it is easier to maintain. In future, what happens if your if your logic to verify the password changes, then you have to apply that change in 10 places. So it will tell you all these good things basically. So if you look from the developer's perspective or the management perspective, your requirement is satisfied. The code is developed for the requirement, but technically the way the developer coded is not right, because that will give a lot of maintenance issues in future. So all those things will be given by or identified by SonarQube. So and in your code quality gate configuration, you can mention, hey, if the duplicate lines are more than 20%, sorry, more than 10% of the code, then fail the build. That's it. It will build the solution. No, there are no issues with respect to code, but with respect to the best practices or the duplicate lines of code, it is not up to the mark. Your SonarQube will send an alert to your CI pipeline saying that, hey, this guy is not following this duplicate lines of threshold, then fail the build. That's it. Your CI will be failed. So that is called code quality gate. So I have many criteria to be applied in code quality gate. I will show you. what are all the criteria or what are all the rules that you can use in code quality gate, which can be part of your continuous integration pipeline. Good, understood. What is a Sonarqube? What is a quality gate? Why do you need Sonarqube?
Yes,
So
Purna.
it's all about technical debt. Okay, it's a
Okay.
very famous code. Okay, you simply say, hey, for technical debt, yeah, I'll apply Sonarqube. I'll create a quality gate and integrate this Sonarqube with our CI pipeline. That's it. Technical debt will be known, and the effort will also be known from the Sonarqube analysis itself. Okay, so that
This
how it.
Sonarqube is a product of software, Microsoft itself.
No. Sonarqube is
Oh,
a company. I mean, some other company based. It's an open source company. Okay, it's open source.
okay.
It is
Okay.
there since more than 15 years. Okay,
Oh, okay.
it's a open source. Thousands and thousands of developers contributed to this basically. Okay, now I guess
Oh,
someone is manage. Obviously, there will be someone to manage it, right? Okay,
yeah.
now now those guys made a commercial. So here also now we have commercial versions. Basically, for developers, we don't need to pay basically. Okay, I will show that one. Now, uh, how do you set up? First, if you go to any company, obviously you don't need to set up SonarQube because all the companies are having it. Okay, because
Okay.
if it is a startup, if you're working for a startup, probably they don't have any infrastructure, right? Probably you get a chance to install the SonarQube. But if you're
Okay.
working for any big company, definitely you don't get a chance to install SonarQube. I can give guarantee. But if that
Okay.
is the case, these are the things that prerequisites. You need to have the Java on your system, or if you are trying on laptop, say it's your laptop. If it is server, it's server, right? You need to install the Java. Okay, and then you need to set up Java home, Java environment variable. Okay, if you google it, it will tell you how to set an environment variable. Environment variable is nothing but giving the path. Means, let us say, do you know, or should I explain, Sahul? Environment variable.
I don't know, Purna.
Okay,
Maybe I
let me
forgot it.
put it very simple. Let us say I have some uh, some software. Okay, let us say uh, in C drive, or probably somewhere, let us say in D drive, somewhere here. Okay, I have some file. Okay. So this is some test batch file. Basically, our Windows commands will be kept in this kind of file to run it whenever they want, right, for automation. If I have to
Yeah.
run this file, right, this set of commands in this batch file, obviously what I have to do, if I have to run it from the command prompt, let me take this path. Okay, if I go and run this from C,
Same.
let me open command prompt, right? Can I run from here? Test bad. I will not be able to run it, right?
No. Okay.
Because this
We need to
test
give the path.
batch is in the D colon Azure DevOps drive. You have to go to that
Okay.
path and run it, right? Then only it will be executed, isn't it?
It will. Yeah. Right.
So now if I go and copy this, now if I go and run it, of course it doesn't have anything. I'm just showing an example. What is that? Sorry, it is in the CD. CD. First, first do a D basically. Now it is here. Okay. Now if we
Yeah.
say test that. See, now I didn't have any error, right? It executed, but it doesn't have anything. That's the
Yeah.
reason
Right.
you are earlier. I mean, you are not in the correct path. Now you are in the
Yeah.
correct path. So,
Okay.
but it's always difficult to go and type all these paths, right? And probably you remember only the software name or executable name. You don't remember it. How do you execute it? So that is from the manual perspective. And same
Okay.
these files might be getting used by your softwares as well, right? Maybe your projects.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you tell the software or some other utility that hey, there is a test bat in this path? That means you are hard coding in that. Basically you are hard coding the path in your software basically. Instead of that one,
Okay.
uh, all these products, what they do, any product, it be it Java, .NET, etc., they always go and create a environment variables automatically. But in our case, we are installing some software, we create environment variable. If
Okay.
you go and search for environment variable, it will give you. Okay. The other one is you go to your my computer, right click, properties, and then you will have a an I'm not finding it here. That's why edit the system environment variables. You will get this window. This is our popular window. In the
Okay.
advanced section, you will have the environment variables. Here you will come and set up the environment variable. So you need to set the Java home environment variable. So Java underscore home and the path of the Java basically. You see C colon program files Java JRE. Okay, I can add my own environment variable like this. I added this for Sonarqube.
Okay.
Now if I have to add, for the text file, right? Test bat, and then I can copy paste this here, okay, like this. Test
Okay.
bat that bat. This is
Yeah.
the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you see what happens. Now I can execute that file from anywhere. Okay. Now I go to C drive. Right. Now I am in C drive. Now let me run
Yeah.
this. Test bat dot bat. Let me come out from here. Okay. It should be working. Let me try that Java one basically. Should be working. So that is the purpose, means you can run it from anywhere. Let me take this. I might this is not something environment variables. This is my Java, right? This is Java home. Okay, right, basically this is in C colon program files Java JRE, right? Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is directly in C drive, so maybe we need to go
okay,
to D drive, not to the folder, then we need to run.
I can run it from anywhere basically.
Okay.
I got it. I run the, okay, no, that's okay. No, I understood. I took that. Okay. Where is that?
Test bed above.
No, this is not test bad. What is this extension? Yeah, correct only. Should run from anywhere basically. One second. If I don't see it, edit. Because I create a lot many. I created for Go language and everything. Okay, should be
Okay.
working.
Maybe only path we need to give.
No, 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 no. I have to give the complete one. Then only it
Complete.
will.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No,
Right.
environmental variables, I think long back, I think I have used, I forgot actually.
No, I
Yeah.
this is my day-to-day life because whenever you install some software, right, you have
Yeah.
to set up
Okay.
that one basically. Okay, we'll see it,
Okay.
but anyways, okay. But you need to set up that environment variable, okay,
Okay.
and then you have an n number of SonarQube versions. Okay, let's go to SonarQube. Okay, it will guide you all those things. Download when you
Okay.
say download SonarQube, right?
Okay.
Sonarqube.org is the website. Okay, so you have different versions for companies. They can go with enterprise or a data center version. You have to pay
Yeah.
for that. Okay, and then for developer it will have more options basically. Okay, means you can also contribute basically if you are using a developer version. Okay, and also you
Yeah.
can also contribute. Okay, and for community it is just like end user, you install it and start using it actually. So we generally go for a end users. Okay, and if you are okay, if you want to see the entire history of the this Sonarqube, right, historical downloads, go and click on the show all versions. Okay, because most of the times what happens, latest version may not be stable, right? You always need to go with the stable versions because these guys,
Okay.
this is a open source, right?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
3 months or 6 months you will see a beta versions, etc. So you need to be careful whichever is the stable version, you need to go with that. Okay,
Okay.
and that's what you see. If you see SonarQube 9.1 is the latest one, September 2021 they released it. Okay,
Yeah.
and you have to go and read it basically, release notes. If you see here, SonarQube 8.9 long-term support vision. Basically, if you see like this, that means this is a kind of stable version.
Okay.
Okay, I think this could not be some stable versions basically. Okay, and
Yeah.
likewise, you see how many versions are here. Okay, in a single year
Okay.
itself, you can see December, October, July, uh, June, March.
Yeah.
See how many versions they released in 1 year itself, and you see all the way. I told you right, 1.0.2, 2007. This is all where it started.
Okay. 13,
So
14
I think,
years.
yeah. So the last, I mean, when I started, I mean, yeah, I started somewhere here only. I mean, as soon as it came out, I started using it. Okay.
Okay.
So installation is very simple. It's not a exe basically. It is just a zip file. Okay. All you need to, select your edition and then say download.
Yeah. Okay.
Once you download it, you will keep it wherever you want. Once you keep it there, unzip it, and then you need to first, before that you need to have the Java. The latest Java is Java 13. Okay,
Okay.
you need to go to the Oracle website and download it. So Java is Oracle, right?
Yeah. Purna,
Download
shall
Java.
we
Yeah,
stop for today?
yeah. I'm just showing only 2 minutes. Okay, you have to go and download the Java. I'm not doing it now. Okay,
Okay.
and then there will be two files that need to be configured for this SonarQube. After that, we can start the SonarQube basically, and then we
Okay.
can get into configurations. I'm just giving you, just a heads up. On
No.
Monday, we will go and
No.
start doing all these things. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Sahul. Then we can close for today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me know whenever you have questions, etc. But I suggest you to go and start putting your resume in your Naukri and start applying for jobs basically. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.